Hey YouTube, going to do a quick review here of Extrema ratio heavy folders. You see we have the MPC here, which is the multi-purpose compact, and the RAO, which is a heavy duty folder with locking blade capabilities. Both designed as heavy use, thicker, more robust versions of the regular Extrema ratio folders. So the first one we'll look at is the MPC, the multi-purpose compact. This one's been around for quite a while. It has good, I think, overall sizing as far as being able to be worn in a pocket. You can see that left and right hand friendly. Always tip-up carry, there's no option to change that. But decent pocket clip, just nice and simple. Lanyard hole. We've got the spine here release for the lockback system, and you know, if I had $1 for every time I've tried to flip this knife open by using this stop plate at the back, it works great, but I keep forgetting about that. So we can open it up, and then you can see it's got a slightly different design where the blade actually sits quite a bit higher than the handle and makes good contact with this back plate. So it's a very robust, sturdy knife. You know, when it is opened up, it really is locked in position nicely. And you have the added security then of a pin here. So you can slide this pin over to the lock position, and then you can't depress the release. So it's physically locked in place. A very reliable, good system. About 4.2 inches for the blade, so a great usable for you know, off-road camping bushcraft type of knife, and it's also certainly well within the range of reaching all those essential organs if you're looking to stab people. So it's a good combat, a good multi-use knife, very nicely made, aluminum handle, and you've got the Bowler N690 cobalt enriched steel, very nice stainless, used in all sorts of cutlery and industrial meat processing knives. So you know, it's a hard use knife. It's been tested out for many years, tried and true, excellent quality, 1/4 inch thickness. So it is, yeah, I think this one, if you're looking for something in the heavy duty folder, this one definitely is a contender. When you first get it, you need to be a little bit on the Arnold Schwarzenegger there to be able to close it. And the only thing that I say, I mean, on the downside of this guy is very heavy, you know, because it's got quite a bit of meat there. And, you know, I'm not overly keen on this early Extrema ratio, like over-the-top branding on their knives. Looks a bit tacky. You know, it reminds me of those that have the older, you know, this older Golem. That put a lot of people off on their tactical knives. You know, it's kind of, I think for most people would agree, it's kind of a over-the-top, tacky, in-your-face branding, which they got away from in their more recent stuff. But nevertheless, overall, excellent. Really like it. I think it's a very good knife for that kind of heavy use, but still can be carried in the pocket. As you can see in the comparison, quite a step up to these other guys. They're quite a bit heavier. Aluminum handle, same N690 cobalt steel, same basic handle design on both of them. They're virtually identical. So one is the drop point version, which is the 2. I'll just move this out of the way. Which is sorry, more of my favorite. And then you've got your traditional original version. So it's one of those blades where, you know, you look at this and you look at the shape and you say, it's not my cup of tea. I really don't like it. You know, I can't get over that look. It's different, it's unique, but it's just not my thing. And that's pretty much the way I feel about it. The quality is there, but it doesn't have any sex appeal to me at all. I just don't like the style of the knife, where the 2 is a lot more easy on the eye to my personal likes. So as you can see, they're almost like essentially the same knife, same piece of steel, just different grinds on it. These are touted as being almost a fixed blade replacement, where you can have a folding knife, or you can actually excuse me, it's bloody cold. You can actually use the sheath that it comes with in its folded position, or it can actually go inside and remains open in a full carry, like a fixed blade would be. The sheath itself seems to be very good quality. It's well made. I'm not keen on it's got this like foam rubbery kind of things in either end that tend to flex and move around. It's not that rigid, but overall, very good quality. It comes with a sharpener here on an aluminum diamond sharpener, but there's just a few things, like, I don't want to be too anal, too picky, but like when you put this in here, that's as far as it goes in the pocket. So realistically, when it's in here and then the knife is folded up and put into this position, the knife is, I put this lanyard, doesn't come with this paracord on it. So when you put the knife in there in a folded up position, give me a second here, you have to be careful, because when you put it in, it's quite a tight fit, and then when you get it in and out, this is scraping the crap out of the one side of your knife, and then you're fighting with these two unprotected rivets on the other side. So if you don't really watch yourself, you're screwing your knife up, and not that it's going to make a difference to the overall function of the knife, but still, it's nice to keep that good quality black coating. They've got anodized aluminum, so why not keep it nice? So as you can see, it's quite a tight fit there. And the sheath overall, the Moly compatible system at the back is nice, but I think it could have a few more runs through the design table to see what they can do with it, because I just don't think it's as good as it could be. And for the quality, it just seems to fall down a bit. Now, on these knives itself, they're both identical. The only difference is on the two, you'll see it has a little set screw here where you can actually adjust the setting. So as you start to wear a little bit, you can adjust it, and then turn the actual tightening bolt there to keep it nice and snug. So essentially, when you push this up, or you just open it by hand, it comes around and it sits in a nice solid groove in the blade, and you can see there it is. So it's just on a little bar in there and a spring load at the top, and as it rotates around, it drops into that little hole. So that's why you have to make sure you keep this free of dirt and debris in there, because otherwise this will not be able to drop into place. Now they say this is a two-hand operating knife, but as you can see, it once you get used it a few times, it's easy for one-hand operation, no problem. It just drops, and it's such a heavy knife, it's very easy to drop it that way. It's really nice. Now it comes with this pin that is tied to the back lanyard hole here and just kind of flops around as another, I don't know, scratching device inside the sheath. I'm not sure why they've done it that way. Why they wouldn't make it here as like a screw-in hole for it, so it's like immobilized when you're not using it, I don't know. It seems to me to be a bit of a design flaw. The other thing, when you actually are using it as like a fixed blade knife and you get your two fingers in there and you've got that length of blade that you can use, the full length there, and a good chop, it is actually quite an effective chopper. I was very impressed with it. So the knife and its capabilities is there. It certainly is a worthwhile knife in the large folder, but it does need to go back to the design table for a few minor things. One of them here, I'll show you here. So this is the locking pin. So they want you to put this pin in and then turn it. And then mind you, normally this is at the back tied on, so it gets tighter and more tangled as you're spinning it. So anyway, here it is. We've got it on and it's locked in, and then as you can see, this now is meant to be making this like a fixed blade. However, it doesn't actually immobilize the blade. It's not excuse me, it's not going through the blade. It's sitting behind the blade, and it's not even a snug fit. So as you'll see in some other people's reviews, they put this knife into this position and do some really unrealistic chopping of metal and bricks. I don't know why you'd want to do that with a knife, but anyway, the point is there that you can break this mechanism and make it very loose inside, because this is not absolutely immobilizing this lock. It's more of a double up finger guard, so the blade can't come back, can't jump out and cut your fingers off when you're using it like that. But it's certainly not immobilized, as you can see. Now, I have a similar locking system on my Extrema ratio, on my, as you can see, and then this was a custom I had made by Crusader Forge, and it's a Predator, so it's their large one. It's quite a big knife, but this actually has a corresponding hole. So there's the hole in the blade. Hope you can see that with the threads in it. Here's the hole right through the handle. So when I put it in, and I actually put this in, it is going into the blade and threading into the blade and clamping. And whether I release the action or not, it is 100%. That is a fixed blade. And I'm not talking about quality, I'm not talking about anything else, I'm talking about the design. I know this is like 3.5 times the cost. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about that this actually locks into the blade from the handle, where when you look at this guy, this does not. So if they were to put a little bit more meat on the blade at the bottom here, so this hole can actually correspond with the blade and make it a fixed knife, that would be a big step in the right direction for this knife. But as you can see, you know, beautiful for the thumb. Could really get a good purchase there for fine work. Very solid, very comfortable, still in a reverse grip for stabbing, prying. And like I said, where you get your fingers down the bottom there in a chopping position, very nice. Overall, I really like this knife. And if your personal taste allows for this design, same quality, everything that I've just said is the same. All the same rules apply. It's just that for me, I don't know. I just can't dig this blade style. But the quality is there. So if that's what you like, that's what turns you on. Certainly, I think, you know, I mean, as long as you take into account that that's what I would say is a design flaw. Watch for the dirt collection in the top here. When with heavy use, make sure when this starts to get round out, you know, when you're not trusting it on your fingers, you don't want that coming back and pinching, chopping off your fingers like a guillotine. So make sure that's a good solid lockup, and if you're doing some heavy work and you're not sure, put your pin in there. But overall, I would say I would give it a big thumbs up, and hopefully someone from Extrema Ratio tries their own product and sees a few of these shortfalls and makes some corrections. Thanks again, and we'll speak to you soon. Bye.